Wicked Yankee TV is in Chinatown in downtown Boston, where they're celebrating the Chinese New Year. The culture is alive and well and being passed down from generation to generation. Let's go see. So, Eli, how long have you been doing the lion dancing for?
Not even a year.
Not even a year. That's amazing. And what do you think of it?
I like it a lot.
So what made you decide to do the lion dance?
I just saw it and I just liked it a lot.
And what is a lion dance? Why is it so important to do the lion dance?
It just helps get the spirits away and stuff like that.
Well, how does it help get the bad spirits away?
It chases it off.
It chases them away.
Yeah.
Have you developed some good friendships doing the lion dancing?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of nice kids there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the next performance that you're going to do?
At the Peabody Essex Museum.
Oh, that's exciting.
A lion dance is to scare away all the bad luck.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Click, click, click. Bum, 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 bum.
I'm Reverend Cheng Im Tan. I'm originally from Malaysia. I've always been an activist supporting Asian women's strength and empowerment. I also am a mother of an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old. As a young girl, I've always wanted to do martial arts. I watch a lot of martial arts movies, and the female martial artists were my heroines, and they were my models of women's empowerment. But because I was a girl, my mother wouldn't let me learn martial arts because she thought it was not appropriate for women to be that physically active. Then when I came to the United States, I took martial arts classes. And about that time, I saw a lion dance close-up. And I could tell that it was martial arts based because of the stances. And I thought to myself, this is not that difficult. I can do this. So I recruited 10 of my Asian women friends to start an Asian women's lion dance troupe. I think we're about 26 people right now, 26 to 28. And we have the lion and the dragon dance troupe, which is 2 different troupes. A lot of times women will say, oh, I can't do this, I'm not strong enough. But the reality is muscles are very trainable, and we usually work out for about 45 minutes before we even begin practice, so that we do a lot of strengthening exercises. I think women's strength is about commitment, about perseverance, about not giving up. As Asian women, it is very important for us to stay rooted in who we are. That's our identity. And if we are strong and understand and know who we are, and we know our roots, we are much more powerful and much more stronger.
你好，你好，大家好，大家好。Okay, I have to do my dialect. Lu ho bo. Oh, good. So that was Mandarin, Cantonese, and Hokkien. So, San Nin Fai Lo, everybody. San Nin Fai Lo. 新年快乐. Who knows what that means? You do? Yeah! Happy New Year! That means Happy New Year in Cantonese and Mandarin. It's going to be a good year, right? It's 4,716 years. So the Chinese people have been celebrating Chinese New Year for 4,716 years. That's a long time, right?
The Year of the Pig is a very lucky one, filled with wealth, prosperity, and happiness. Being the 12th sign of the zodiac, the myth goes that when the Jade Emperor called all the animals for a meeting, the pig had eaten, fallen asleep, and was the very last to arrive. Though the pig might not stand out in a crowd, his energy, enthusiasm, large sense of humor, and understanding makes him loved by all for his intelligence, generosity, and fun nature. Chang Im Tan's love and enthusiasm for her culture and students is contagious as the Gun Kwok Cubs prepare for the lion dance performance at the Whole Foods grocery store in Boston. An amazing teacher, she uses language, dance, martial arts, and a love of storytelling to make sure this wonderful knowledge of culture and tradition is passed on to the next generation. She is all about empowering others to believe in themselves, to challenge themselves, to push the boundaries of tradition, to ensure that everyone can partake and learn this ancient art. She not only brings joy to her young students, the patrons and passersby are given an unexpected gift, an elaborate, ornate display of an ancient Chinese tradition that has been preserved and passed down by teachers like Chang Im Tan. The lion dance is a very important one and used to bring in great luck for the new year, as a performance of energetic, powerful martial arts and dance moves, accompanied by loudly struck gongs, cymbals, and drums, are sure to ward off all evil spirits for the coming year. These young kids are not only agile, they are amazingly skillful for their age. The yellow, pink, and red costumes are extraordinary. Their brilliantly colored cloth is adorned with sequins, feathers, and bells, and can't help but command attention and respect. The two dancers that don this elaborate costume display a strength, skill, stamina, and teamwork that is commendable. The tail and body, handled by the second dancer, is very difficult and often overlooked. This troupe member must follow every step of his teammate, who is at the head, following and matching each movement to the music, all while crouched in an uncomfortable position. Together, this troupe makes a great showing of a centuries-old tradition. The Buddha plays a very important role, representing a temple monk that leads the lion to the special offerings of lettuce and oranges, representing wealth and longevity. The Buddha dons a mask with a wonderful smiling face, a large fan, and teases and plays with the lion. The Buddha rejoices and dances with joy as he has led the lion to the shopkeeper's offering of lettuce and oranges, a very important symbol of wealth for the new year. The Buddha leads the lion to the merchants in town to have a blessing bestowed upon them. They are often offered tangerines and oranges, representing longevity. Green vegetables symbolize wealth and prosperity, so shopkeepers offer cabbage and lettuce to the lion, who then spits it out, symbolizing the spreading of the wealth throughout the community. Drums, cymbals, and gongs alert the merchant that the Buddha and lion will soon be upon them and a blessing will be bestowed. An important job, the beat of the musicians must follow carefully the movements of the much-loved and revered lion. There are many smiles that greet these young performers as joy is spread throughout the store. This is a wonderful introduction for these children to the world where martial arts, dance, and music come together in a spiritual, joyous celebration on the streets of their very own communities.
Go!
Hi, this is Wicked Yankee TV. We're in Fenway in the Boston area. We are with Irene Lee of Mei Mei's. This is one of the coolest Chinese fusion restaurants that you're gonna find in the United States. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. So what made you get into this amazingly great venue?
Well, our family has always loved food. Since we were little kids, all of family life was really like around the dinner table. And so when I got a little bit older, I started getting more and more interested in cooking.
Yeah.
And my brother had actually worked in the front of house in a lot of sort of fine dining restaurants.
Right.
And he got tired of wearing a suit to work, so he said, maybe I'll think about starting a food truck.
And this is Andrew.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so he told his two little sisters, his two Mei Mei's, about the idea, and we said, we think you might need some help.
Because some lovely assistants.
Exactly, because we loved to cook, and cooking was sort of less his area of expertise. So
seriously, so he was not really that much of a cook?
He was a front of house hospitality man. So he is great with guests, but cooking wasn't really his area.
Right.
And so as very avid home cooks, we got really excited about the possibility of sort of taking the show on the road, so to speak, with a food truck. So we opened the truck in 2012, and then we opened this restaurant just a year after that, because we really needed our own kitchen where we could produce as much as we wanted at any hour. So yeah.
So how old were you when you got into this?
When we first opened the business, I was 22. And my brother and sister were 30 and 31. So I'm the baby by a lot. I'm the bossy one.
You're the bossy one?
Oh yeah, definitely. The baby's always the bossy one, I think. You know, you get spoiled.
Yeah.
You grow up like an only child. But, you know, they, I think, had so much trust in me, even as someone with no culinary training, still really young, and they really let me take the food side of the business and run with it. So, you know, no sane business person ever would have done that. And I probably wouldn't now if I had the opportunity, but they trusted me and they gave me, you know, all the platform I needed to start making food.
James Beard Award finalist. 4 years in a row.
I couldn't believe it either.
Shocking. Yeah. What inspired you to get into this field? I mean, what was it that said, I can do this?
I think what really inspired me was, number one, just loving food so much. My whole life revolves around food. I was just on vacation in Hawaii, and all we did was say, where are we gonna eat? Let's go there. And then what are we gonna do to kill time between now and when we have enough room in our stomachs to eat again? So it's always been about food. And I think that I also wanted a chance to sort of show a Chinese American, a multicultural perspective on food. There's lots of great Americanized Chinese food here in Boston, and there's also lots of great authentic Chinese food. But what we grew up eating was a little different from that. So we call it creative American Chinese cuisine, but what it really is the sort of stuff we made for ourselves when we got home from school and there wasn't, you know, too much in the fridge. So a scallion pancake grilled cheese, to us, there's not really anything more American than that. So in addition to that, our grandparents owned 2 restaurants in upstate New York and New York City. And when they came to this country, they really opened restaurants out of necessity. It was one of the only things that they could do, and they had 6 kids to support. So their generation, and lots of sort of first generation immigrants, they are making a choice out of not so many great choices.
Right.
And so my parents' generation, of course, is doctors, lawyers, consultants, physicists, all of that stuff. And then of course our generation then, you know, we dive right back into the restaurant industry.
The artists.
But, exactly,
The
yeah.
artists.
So we say it skips a generation, but of course we also think of it as an expression of the growth of our family, the evolution of the sort of Chinese diaspora in the United States. We really want to make our grandma and grandpa proud. And for us, I think we recognize that we are so lucky to be living in a time and place and in our family where we have the option to choose a career that's more about creativity and having a dream than it is about just supporting yourself. So we are so blessed to be part of the family and to be part of this community in Boston more broadly.
It's amazing that they started the footprints, the journey here, and you're bringing it full circle. And they did probably more authentic Chinese food, and you are bringing a new twist, a new American twist. Irene, It's all about tradition. Just like you said, in 1940s, your grandparents came to the United States, they started a Chinese restaurant, and now you have this new cookbook that is showing how you guys moved it forward.
Exactly. I think the cookbook, you know, it's a lot about the growth and evolution of our family, and also it's about how much American food itself and American diners have changed over time. That people are really excited about, you know, trying new foods and experimenting with different ingredients from different cuisines.
Do you find that kids are more excited about trying cuisines that do have those unique ingredients, but they make it their own?
You know, I think that anytime you cook something, you're making it your own in some way. A recipe, you know, if I'm cooking it, it doesn't necessarily come out the same way twice. And so, you know, if you have one kind of vinegar, but not the kind that's in the book, you're just gonna make a change. Maybe you have dried cranberries instead of raisins. All those little things. We think that everyone should just experiment. The worst thing that can happen is that you make something that's not very delicious, and then all you have to do is eat it, and the evidence is gone. So we really want people to be playing around, making it their own. We said, you know, cover this book in soy sauce. It's meant to be used. We want you to get it messy. It's not for just sitting on the coffee table, and so we're really excited seeing people cook from it.
Oh. Well, Irene, Bucky and I are very excited about cooking today. We can't wait to see what you're gonna do with these dumplings. They sound delicious. So let's get to it.
Awesome.
Oh, that's great. Okay, we're here at Team Mei Mei making the dumplings. This looks fantastic, and this is the softest dough I have ever felt. It's
Very
like
nice.
It's like baby velvet.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Yeah, you
so
can put it up to your face.
oh, I
too.
love it. Okay,
You didn't actually do it.
so Kate, right?
Yes.
Okay, can you guys tell me how you do this? Because this is a little intimidating for me. Okay, so what do I do?
It's so easy.
Is it really?
You will be shocked.
Okay.
And if you get it wrong, I will judge you. All right, so
That's okay.
dip your finger right in that water, it's
Okay.
just water, and then move it all the way around the edge of the wrapper. It's gonna be about a ½ inch band of wetness.
Okay.
That's gonna allow us to seal the dumpling later.
Okay.
And then you're gonna use either your hands, if you're comfortable, or a spoon to
Is this
dab.
plain white rice?
Yeah.
This is because
Is
we
there
don't
any-
trust anyone yet to fold good dumplings. So
We are
do
training
basic
the
first.
staff today.
Oh, that's cool.
So that they can become dumpling instructors.
I love that.
Because our classes are so popular and we want everyone to be able to get involved. So we're training the trainers today, and that's why we're only folding with white rice.
Okay.
Practice.
Okay, it's practice. Okay, that's great.
You got a lot of rice in there, George. You might want to take a little bit out. That's a good amount of rice.
So this is kind of like, when I think about it, it's like making raviolis, but it's making dumplings.
Exactly.
Same exact.
Okay, so the important thing is not to put too much rice.
Exactly.
To wet the sides, and if it gets dried out, to wet it again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then what?
And then we're just gonna fold it over. It's the simplest, most boring dumpling you could possibly make.
This is the beginner's shape.
I wouldn't say boring, I would say classic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
classic.
It's
That's
all-
a good replay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So how do I do this?
You're doing it. It's happening right
Yep,
now.
like a semi-luna?
Like a taco is what we say.
Like a taco.
Start with the
Exactly.
taco
And
shape.
you just give it a good firm pinch, and that should seal the dumpling so it's closed.
Irene, this has been so much fun. We're here at Mei Mei's making dumplings. I have never made dumplings before. This is great. Thank you for sharing this great cuisine, tradition, and the new twist and adventures that you are bringing to it.
Thank you so much for coming.
Oh, thank you. So let's keep making these dumplings.
All right.
So you see how I'm moving down towards me with each one that I do.
Okay.
Bucky and I love Quebec and our Quebecois ancestry, so we decided to celebrate Chinese New Year with what else? A toutier dumpling.
A toutier, for those of you who don't know, is a meat pie that is famous up and was created in the 17th century in French-speaking Canada, in Quebec.
In Quebec,
In
yes.
Quebec. It's a hearty meal, especially this time
Delicious.
of year. It's 8 degrees out, so you want to make something hearty. This is pork, beef, vegetables, and
Yum.
since we just did a story on the Chinese New Year in Boston, we decided to blend the ingredients of Chinese cuisine,
Right.
as well as Quebecois cuisine.
Well, that's what's so cool, because both Bucky and I love to cook, and the interesting ingredients
were such a surprise to us because we created this as we went. We used the cabbage, the leeks, the lemongrass that are so typical in Chinese cooking. But then we put in nutmeg, clove, and of course ginger, which is good for both, to put those into our dumplings.
No, not only with the rice, but we're going to also have some dumplings that have rice, and also with Quebecois, we also are going to put mashed potatoes in some of them. So let's get right to making the dumplings. I have to tell you, this looks wonderful. It tastes even better.
We are so excited to make the toutier dumpling. Shout out to our love of Quebecois and everything French-Canadian with the Chinese New Year. So you take your dumpling wrapper, you take a small dollop of mashed potatoes, and you smooth them down and mash them in the center. Then you take the filling, which looks fantastic. This is our toutier filling. The pork, the beef, the cilantro, the lemongrass. It's wonderful. You take that. Do not fill it up too much because it will be hard to close. Then you take your water and your finger and you line the outside of the dumpling. These are so easy to make. Then you just fold it over like that. Very simple, easy, and delicious. Then we're just going to pinch, pinch, pinch. And you got your dumpling. Now we are going to fry these delicious dumplings in a wok. We've heated it up with fantastic peanut oil. You want to use a good gray peanut oil. We're going to drop our traditional dumplings in there. You don't want to crowd the pan too much, but a wok does a great job of cooking them. So we have our 4 traditional, and then we have our toutier ones. You're going to cook these till they're brown, and then flip them over and cook the other side, usually just a couple minutes. So now we're going to take the dumplings out. Man, holy guacamole, as I like to say. They smell fantastic. So they absolutely look delicious. And we are going to put those up. This wok is wonderful. Look how nice this turned out. I am very impressed with our... And there you have it, toutier dumplings to celebrate our love of Quebecois and the Chinese New Year. Thanks for joining Wicked Yankee TV. Have a wicked good day.
Someday I'm gonna make it up to that mountain, far beyond the devil's reach. If I can keep my eyes looking towards that fountain, where the sanctified your blessings reach. Well, the master of confusion seeks to destroy my every game, and only you know how hard I'm trying. Don't let my efforts all be in vain. Someday I'm gonna make it up to that mountain, far beyond the devil's reach.
I've been waiting for the earth to move beneath my feet. I've been screaming from the top of the mountain, can you hear me? I will become to you what I am to me. I will become to you what I am to me. I will become to you what I am to me. What I am to me. I've been waiting for the earth to move beneath my feet. I've been screaming from the top of
no roads were before. Hold on. Bucky, you're so good at driving. Bucky, how did you learn how to drive a golf cart?
I went to school for it.
Wait! We're not gonna make this! Wait a second, hold on.